You know what it is. We back again. I'm Mike D.
Brother LT.
And we are Black and Yerrow.
Let's roll.
We got a little something different this week. I think it's going to be a little something different. It's definitely going to be interesting. I think we always keep it interesting. If we don't keep it interesting, let us know. But we always keep it interesting.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments down below. Let's go.
Let's go.
So today's topic, we're going to talk about kids.
What about kids?
Gotta love them, right? That's what they say anyway. Don't have to like them, but gotta love them. So, like I said, the topic today is about kids. Did we do a good job? Did we not do a good job? Did they make us angry? Did they make us want to kill them? Yeah, probably so. But in the end, we really love them. On you, Brother LT.
I got 3 of them, and I got 3 of them at an early age. My first child was my son, and a lot of hardships. Me and my wife were extremely young, and not in our teens, but we were right at the 20-year age. Up to that point, I never really had a house or a home. My family were my homeboy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I never lived at home, right? I left home at an early age. I've always wondered until I found the love of my life. And then, we established a family. I didn't want my wife to, at the time, to, live with me and my friends. Humbly, my parents at the time took me back in with my new bride. I will tell you that, we were extremely broke. We had nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. My wife just barely graduated high school. She was first year of college. I had no job. We had nothing. So my parents had a 3-bedroom home, and being Asian, most of my family lived there, right? The only space that we had was in the breakfast nook.
Let me tell you about that, yeah.
We had to sleep under the breakfast table with my first son because, we had nowhere. It's not a bad thing. It wasn't. I was grateful that my parents gave me the opportunity. You had a
space.
I had a space to sleep in.
Yeah.
And I remember at a young age, or then when we first got married, I didn't know what to do as a father. I had no idea what being a father was. I knew I had to provide. I knew I had to figure out how to hunt, how to bring money home. Didn't know how to do it. Didn't know what to do, but knew that I had to.
Well, I think that,
Does that make sense?
I think that none of us really know what it's like to. It's not like it comes with an instruction manual.
Yeah, nobody's ready.
How to be a
parent,
such and such, one-on-one. There's no classes on it. It is a trial and error type of thing, and I think ultimately we take a lot of cues from our parents, either what to do and what not to do, based on how we were raised. So and what I mean by that is, if you were raised in a very loving home, then okay, those are the things that I want to do.
Well, I will tell you. Okay, so let me kind of dive deeper into it. We had our second child basically a year and a couple months, and my daughter's born. At this point, I'm getting better in life, but I'm still completely broke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I prayed for help. Maybe I asked, but it was really strange, the struggle. There's other things that I did, but that's a whole nother story to the stuff to make money. When I was
we're not talking about those.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about kids.
Completely different
And
subject.
so if you have a comment, it's like, well, how did you, odds and end jobs. I'll leave it at that.
That's what they call it?
And I will tell you the turning point for me to really refocus in on my kids. And I've told this story to my son, and I've told this story to close family and friends. I remember my oldest is really, really sick. He's sick all the time because he had ear infection. Every other month, or damn near every month, I was at the hospital. Because of his ear infection, he was always sickly. Having no money, you have to go to a clinic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is what my kids, to be better. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a process of one day. Now, I learned how to be a father.
Right.
I went to the local clinic, and he was 2.5. He's crying his eyes out. I had to go to a clinic because you have no money.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a clinic, and there's always a line, and there's always, for some odd reason, I felt, and then I guess the people that worked at the nurse and stuff were overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
There's children crying. It's just chaos. This clinic was just chaos, and I remember my son crying, and my wife had to work. Of course, I'm holding my oldest son, and he's crying, and the nurse says, "You're gonna have to wait," but in a bitchy ass manner.
Right.
The clinic.
Yes, at the clinic.
I had to wait my turn.
Ben Top.
Clinic, just any clinic, government
run, yeah.
clinic. It's overwhelmed. It's all the above. I'm holding my oldest son, and I am pissed. And I say, hey, look, my son is crying. He's running a fever. She's like, you got to wait your turn. There's 3 other kids, and literally there's 3 other people in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And every kid is important.
Right.
But of course, at that time, only my kids are important.
Exactly.
And I had to like bite my tongue and sit my ass down. And I made a promise to my oldest son. I said, one day I'm going to find a job that has insurance.
Hey, insurance is important.
But then, right, I'm like, I'm going to find a job that has insurance so I can get you better health care so we don't have to go through this shit and I have to worry about you.
Right.
That, I would tell you, listen, right, was the catalyst. Now, I didn't change my ways in one day.
No.
It
You still haven't changed your ways.
It took years to learn how to teach my kids and to show them, to give them the life that I didn't have and I wish I had. So the difference a lot of times, like, I tell my kids I love them. I'm a very, very...
You're an affectionate father.
I'm very affectionate to my kids.
Yeah.
I still kiss them, and I mean, they're in late 20s. I still tell them I love them every time I talk to them. Being Asian, like their friends will say, you talk to your dad? You just told your dad you loved him? Right? And they're like, yeah. It's normal. Because they don't hear that. Their friends don't hear their dad saying that. And then when they hear my backstory, they're like, well, how the hell is that even remotely close? Because I drink and I party. I did all the shit that you are not supposed to do.
Do you?
But
now?
the one thing that I kept real with my kids was I was always affectionate to them.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this question. Does the affection that you show your kids, is that a product of what you didn't get as a kid growing up?
Most definitely. Most definitely that was a product. Most definitely. That because I didn't have it, I gave it to my kids. Most definitely I work hard for my kids. Most definitely I want to give them the life so they wouldn't have my struggles.
And that kind of leads me back to what I was saying before, is that a lot of times what we do is we either raise our kids in the fashion that we were raised into, a very loving, giving family, or a lot of times what we lacked.
But here's the thing I will tell you, and listen to what I'm telling you, world. I love them, and I found a great job where I worked all the time, and I still hung out with my friends. I was not present, even though I was present.
And I feel you on that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
I was there because I thought I was the provider, and I loved my kids, and I told them I loved them.
that was
but
enough.
I didn't really watch my kids. I didn't learn about my kids till after a situation I had with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back and I was like, you know what? Let me really be myself and show my kids how much I love them. And now my kids and I have a wonderful relationship. And we're very open about our conversations. And we talk and we have great communication. Things that I never thought that a parent or much less a father would have with their kids. My kids today love hanging around with me and my wife. My wife and I, right? We have a very close-knit family. And I am very, very appreciative, fortunate, blessed, I guess is the word, to know that my kids enjoy hanging around with me. Now, it's not perfect.
I was going to call you for life. It's perfect.
I have with my kids now that I never had when I was growing up. I can't compare to anybody else.
Well, I will tell you this, from my point of view, with my kids and I.
But you got to give them context about your life.
I think that, well, again, had kids, I think I was 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. When I had my first son, we have kids, and my oldest is 7, so there you go. I was 20 when I had my first, and 48 when I had my last.
It still works.
It still works. I was checking to see if it worked, and it still
I was
works.
trying to help you out for the ladies, no.
It's okay.
I was trying to help you out for the ladies, my brother.
So at any rate, what I come to realize is that, number one, I do have a lot more patience than what I did when I was much younger. And I think that goes a long way. to being able to understand some of their quirks, if you will.
Well, let me ask you this, because for me and you, it's a different world, right? Let's put some context for it, right? You have X amount of kids with
High five.
with two,
Four.
three, four different women. I have my same kids with the same woman.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that. I think that doesn't change the dynamic of.
It doesn't change how you love them, but what I'm saying is, but people need to see the context of, okay, well, yeah, both of them dudes have like the same lifestyle, and we don't.
No,
we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
He lives a single lifestyle today, and he's had kids that he still loves and supports.
I mean, still.
But not the still is a bad word.
That I love, just period.
I love. Is
them,
that
yeah.
how you say it?
And I still love, like I didn't love them before, and now I love them.
Is that how that? Is that how
love them.
that's how it's came
Just
about?
love. It's just love.
Is
you
it just
you
love?
love your kids, yeah. Yeah, like still love. I thought about not loving them, but no, I still love them.
Well,
you just love them.
Well, coming around.
No. I mean, here's the thing, and this is the thing. There's been several times that I don't like them. I mean, look at a couple past hobbies. Hey, they didn't hurt me to my heart, but it doesn't stop the love.
Okay, well, why don't you expound on this, right? Being a father, the way that you are, you're not with their moms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my story is a little bit different, and I think I know I've done some stuff where it was completely, even being a dad, was really wild, and I'm not talking about going out there with other women. I'm just talking about my lifestyle. And as the longer we go, we'll expound on the craziness of my life. I kept that away from my family. I had, my kids were my focus in life.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love them, I didn't truly, I would say, become a dad until the last 10, 12 years.
I don't think we're that dissimilar. I think that.
Can you learn how to be a better father?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely, you can always learn to be a better father. Again, like I said, you're not born with a manual. You're not. When your child is born.
So if a young dad out there feels like if his wife is pushing him or prodding him that he's not being a good dad, what my thing is like.
Well,
man,
what is number one? What is a good dad?
Exactly.
I mean, dad is going to be there with one son. It's going to be, I guess
you can still be around and be a shit dad.
Exactly.
And you cannot be around and still be a good dad. So
exactly.
It works.
So I mean, that's the thing. So who actually defines that? I think
your kids do.
Well, again, like I said, what I think ends up happening, or what I believe, is that in those situations, ultimately, it's you putting forth that effort. And I say that to say, my oldest daughter and I are very close.
Yes.
She every once in a while, today, believe it or not, was the first time that she openly cursed in front of me, where she felt like, and she kept saying, well, excuse me, Dad, I don't mean to say it like that, but, I didn't mean it. Just say what you got to say, baby girl. It's all good. But today, I guess maybe that level of respect coming from daughter to dad, but on the same token, we have very few secrets. Just in the same sense that I have a relationship with my parents when my dad was alive and my mom still. That's the type of relationship that I want to have with my kids, where they feel open enough to come to me and tell me anything.
Well, let me ask you something, and it's also in that same line, because I'm on the outside and also on the inside looking in the way you had a relationship, and we had this on one of our previous podcast about your relationship with your mom and how close you were with Pop. Do you want that same line of relationship?
Definitely.
So where that's different with me, where I don't want that same line of relationship where I have with my parents, because there was no communication.
Yeah, but on the same token, even with that, what you're like, and I'm assuming in this particular case, but I'm assuming you want that openness because you want them to feel comfortable enough to come to you with the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's funny that
I do, but I don't. There's some things I don't want to know.
there was a meme out a while back that said, if my child gets in trouble, if my child goes to jail, I want to be the first person that they call. And I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
mean, don't call your buddy, don't call your friend down the street. If you as a young lady, you get pregnant, call me, let me know. If you as a young man get somebody pregnant, call me, let me know. Not that I can change anything for you, but I want you to know at least that I'm there for you, and I'm not going to judge you in a way where I don't ever want you to make you feel like you don't have the ability to come to me with anything. And I know there's going to be secrets. I know there's going to be things that they're not going to tell me. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know there will be things that they're not going to tell me. However, I want them to be I still want them to be comfortable enough to say, you know what, I'm just going to keep this from dad, but if I needed to, or if I ever have I can go to dad.
Is there a perfect relationship?
I don't think there's anything that's,
I think
it doesn't exist.
that, going back to what you're talking about, there's no manuals.
There's no manuals. There's no such thing as a perfect. It's like having a perfect marriage. What is that?
There isn't one.
It's like having a perfect life. What is that?
There isn't one.
Exactly. So why would we expect anything else to be perfect?
But I think most people watching this, and when they're watching it, they're caught up in this world of whatever that it is. And I can tell you right now, there's no perfect way to talk to your kids, and there's no perfect way to teach your kids, and there's no perfect way to love your kids. The only thing is, I think for me, right, through my trials and tribulations, through all the stuff that I put my family through all the just the craziness of the lifestyle that I lived, I've been very fortunate that I kept an arm's length away to protect my wife and my kids from my tornado or the life that I lived, right? And so, but when I was home, when I first got married, I was home, and I thought because I was home hanging out with my homeboys, I was a good dad.
Right. No, I feel you. I think
I didn't just because I changed the diaper every now and then. And so it's a learned trait. It's something that I had to learn, the mistakes of life, the communication.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I think ultimately here's the thing is that, again, because we don't have this manual, and who's to say that the fucking manual's right?
It's very profound. I like it.
Who's to say that? Growing up, I couldn't wait till I had kids so I can whip them the way my mom whipped my ass. Can't wait till I have kids so I can beat their ass the way I can. I'm gonna get an extension cord. Mom, it's okay. The statute of limitations is done. Okay, you're safe. All right?
Dang old wrestler.
The extension cord, tree limbs. We're not talking about switches. We're talking about tree limbs. Maybe even a couple of tree trunks she beat us with. But we were bad kids. Okay, we were bad. But on the same token, I couldn't wait because I'm gonna raise my kids the same way. Oh, I'm gonna beat their ass the way that I got my ass whipped. I have yet, my oldest daughter is 28. I think in her lifetime, in 28 years, she got smacked on her butt once. That's it. Smacked on her butt once. So I think that
I can't say that for me.
What I'm saying is that Leah, I will use the stern daddy voice. And that stern daddy voice, man, what I've learned is that stern daddy voice does wonders. Short story. Living in Houston, Megan came to live with me at the apartment, and it was just she and I. And I remember she was going to Ollie, middle school. And she got in trouble for something. Can't remember what it was. She didn't come home the way she was supposed to, something. And of course I was working and had people that would help me out when she got home and everything else. And of course she had the key to the door and everything. But she got there and I found out that she did something that she wasn't supposed to. And I told her, I said, listen, here's the deal. You got two choices. I can either whip your butt or you can sit here and do such and such, and you know what? You're gonna sit here and you're gonna study for the rest of the week. It's like a Tuesday. I don't know what day it was or something. She thought about it and she had this little sad face on, and she said, I'll take the whipping. I said, no, get your ass upstairs. You're going to study. You're going to start from here. You're going to end here. Go. That was the worst punishment I could have ever given her.
Really?
It was ask her. When you get an opportunity, ask her. That was the worst punishment. Even today, she will tell you, oh my God, I would have rather had the ass whipping. Because every day, not that she had to study, but every day she had to come home and hear me talk about it, about how she disappointed. And I think that's the biggest thing with being a parent and being a child is that disappointment. You don't want to disappoint your parent.
Oh, I put that ass beating on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not bad, but it's psychological.